just saying thank you to everyone. Like, you guys came out in numbers. I mean, got the mayor out there. Amaya sung very well, and Joni spoke very well. We want to thank the partnership from March Funeral Home. So thank you, Mr. Eric March, for even believing in us and allowing us to utilize your parking lot. Like I said, it was truly amazing. We had some bumps, and that's what I think. Just having this business spotlight, we're going to talk about how to get around those bumps and how to stay in character and how to stay abrupt with everything that's going on, because it's life. Even with your children or your job, relationships. So it's all going to come and tie in. I also want to just say thank you to Jesus Way International Ministry for providing the sound and the music. And I'm not going to name everyone, but the main ones, the music and the food. We had free food. So thank you, Matt Stevens and Chief Russell from Somebody Cares. There was so many organizations there, special appearances, like I said, from the mayor, from the organizers of Baltimore Ceasefire. Thank you for your support. Everyone truly came out and showed that Baltimore knew how to come together in unity, and we prayed. So that was a good thing. Also, again, just thank you to Minister Carlos Muhammad. He wasn't able to speak just due to time, but he came out, he supported us, and he always does. So I want to thank him for that. We have a few events coming up. I want to name those 2 events, and we're going to go right into the segment. But today is a block party, the mayor's block party. If you are available, I'll be leaving from here to go there. But if you are available, please come out and enjoy, again, stay in that mode of community, stay in that mode of getting involved. So the mayor's block party is today from 6 to 9 at 3800 Lindale Avenue. So please go there. Tomorrow it will be a community cookout and prayer at Patterson Park. That's organized by Fragrance of Faith Ministry. Please go out, and I'm only saying it because it's today and tomorrow. You have to go out and continue to show your presence in the community. We're going to shift it and come back because I have a few things I want to say, but it's going to tie into what I have to say. So our business spotlight is Joni Holifield, and she's from hold on. Wait a minute. It's always been Heart Smiles. She just switched up on me now. Leading for longevity, but you may have known her from Heart Smile. I have known her since last year, and what I truly admire from her, I don't like a lot of people to just talk. You talk and say, if you need me, let me know. I'll be there. When I say we connected, and shout out to Shelly. We got a Shelly Helping Hands. Yes. He basically had a post. I don't even remember. He had a post. It was a post. He had a post, and me being me, I was like, I need her. I want to connect. And she was on it, and I said, can you meet me at Mervo? And history has made that day from that forward. She's at Mervo, and I'll let her explain it, but she's at Mervo now, connected with our students, and that's how it's supposed to be. We also have Ajah. We have Ajah Doswell. Yeah. Only on Tuesdays. Sorry, pork chop. But she's here representing Keys Development. And again, I just want to the reason I probably pointed these 2 ladies out is because these last couple of weeks I had a rough one. And if their video wasn't inspiring, just to know that they are successful in their business, they are very motivated, and I truly admire you guys. Thank you for coming in to even speak. I think a lot of people can truly be touched and helped by you. A lot of times I'm listening to Joni's, but the other day I listened to Ajah and I was like, I need you here. So I think everyone can. So if you can, I'm gonna let Joni introduce herself, and then Ajah, okay? And then we'll just go from question and answer from there.
Sure. So I'm going to introduce myself to you guys by first addressing the thing that Angie said. So if y'all caught that, she said y'all may know her from Heart Smiles, as if, Heart Smiles is just gone. So let me just kind of explain that a little bit, because I get that a lot. Yeah. Like I really do.
This another one is new for me.
Yeah. Right. So let me just break it down real quick. So Heart Smiles is my nonprofit organization. And the goal with that is to motivate, inspire, and empower kids through entrepreneurship. Right. So it is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. I got frustrated with the fact that we did not get funding. So although we were out there doing the work, which I know a lot of grassroots organizations are out there in the field, on the streets, doing the work, but not getting funding. We're not even going to get into the ugliness of the political situation. But I was not one to say, you know what, the government or anybody else is going to stop me from doing my work. They're not going to be able to tell me what's important and what's not important. Because when you get a kid telling you, my best friend got shot, and had I not been in your class, I would have been with my best friend, something changes. So with that, I'm thinking, what can I do to fund my organization? I say, you know what, let me do what I tell my kids to do. The only thing that I know how to do, I guarantee the only thing I know how to do is build leaders. I've been doing it for well over 15 years in the corporate world. So I decided to give up my nice corporate cushy job, start my own leadership company, doing what I've been doing for well over 15 years, doing the same thing for myself, so that I can take that money that I'm making for profit and funnel it into the nonprofit. And schools are excited about that when I tell them, hey, we got this great program, things are going good. When you tell them that it costs $20K, the smile turns into a frown. But then it turns right back around when I say, all I need you to do is to help me get some business for my for-profit. The for-profit is legitimate. We know what we're doing. All of the folks who we work with, we've gotten really great reviews, especially from some of the teachers and admins in Baltimore City schools, that they've been able to turn some of the cultures, and especially with the first level leadership, they've been able to learn a lot from the workshops and the coachings and the classes and stuff that we're doing. So we have a solid product. We just need help in getting people to refer us, because every time you get us business, we're sowing that right back into the community. And the crazy thing is, my folks in Pennsylvania caught on to what we were doing. So I ended up having a late night meeting. I didn't get home till almost midnight. I met with the mayor. I met with the chief of police. I met with the entire city council. I met with the head of the highway, and also the head of the fire chief. So they want to get me business in York, PA, so I can duplicate what we're doing right here.
That's awesome.
So
that's awesome. And you're going to go beyond that.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm trying to tell you.
Absolutely. We have to. Our kids need us to.
Yes.
Our kids need us to. This is too important for us not to.
Absolutely.
So even though you guys see me, pushing leading for longevity, you see me pushing a leadership, just know that the goal behind it is so that we can continue to stay in city schools with our entrepreneur program. And as Angie said, although right now we're only in Mervo, my personal goal is to be able to fund this in every high school and in every middle school.
Let me tag some people in there. I need y'all to listen to what she's doing. She's doing some amazing things. And even, can you just speak on even some students at Mervo? Some of them have, she has pictures of them going down to the Maryland Assessment Taxation. Like, she's really signing them up. She's helping them with business plans.
Absolutely.
Like, we need them in all the schools. So anyone who's in the school system, please, you have to reach out to me. If you don't know Joni, like, I'll connect you, because that's what it's all about. So thank you.
Yes.
We're gonna come back around, but I like that, and I thank you for even breaking it down to me, because I was like, I just think you should have two businesses. It doesn't matter to me, because I know you. So, and then Asia, this is another awesome person. She's gonna blow my mind also.
I promised myself I was gonna behave today. I got my behaving hat on.
She's not, and I like when she's not behaving.
So today, and be clear, I wear lots of different hats, but today I'm wearing the Keys Development hat, and we are a psychiatric rehabilitation program in Baltimore. We've serviced over 600 families in the last 2 years, and we are in the process of now working on our 501c3 to push it. So we've had it since May. It's up and thriving, but we know that everyone doesn't meet the mandate for a Medicaid-driven program. So for those kids to still get the exact same services, we've shifted it from one side to the other, which is awesome. We are in Baltimore City schools as well. But right now, the whole focus is on how do we get this group, give them something different, and then turn the tide. And so for me as the clinical program manager, my job is just to basically identify these entities that we can step into, maneuver, bring in resources, tie programs like yours to families, because we're clear that our families are in need, but they don't know that they're in need. The other part of that is that we have this pride chip that's been given to us for a very long time, but it doesn't look like pride when it's coming from the state. So I'll come and sit down and fill out your applications and give you my social to get this $700, $1,200 check one time a month. But I won't take the time to talk to an entity that's going to create residual income monthly for me, or give me the enhancement for my family and all those things. So we do a lot of community advocacy. We take our kids down to Annapolis. They're learning what politics looks like from the ground up. So anytime you can take 2 bus loads of kids and like, oh yeah, that's the building right there. When we met the senator and they gave us lunch, and tell you what that policy is, that's where we are, because you cannot impact change at this level just by, hey, this is what I want to do. We have to have our feet moving, our hands moving, and our minds driving all of those processes. But we know that all stems from finances. Mm-hmm. So my daughter works with Ebony through YEW. She's a 10-year-old entrepreneur. So when you have kids that understand business mindedness, it's imperative, because at the end of the day, we are all funding someone's dream by working at those 401k companies with health benefits and XYZ. But for small business owners, we don't get that knowledge until years later. It's not bred into us. It's, hey, be a worker bee. You might fly away from the colony one day, which is what we've all done here. And then hopefully we can pollinate and build our own hives. But my thing is, we don't even have to be bees anymore. We can be flowers. We can be the sky. We can be the sun and the clouds. But you have to learn how to motion that. And I tell people, give our kids complicated math because it takes away the simplicity of life. Why do you think they teach you algebra or extreme high arithmetic? Because it takes you too long to focus. Everything is based on per unit. So if I know that my kit costs $5 and I'm selling 10 of those items made from that kit for $5, my profit is, after that, that's simple. But geometry discourages you. Social studies discourages you. All of those things discourage you to the point that you don't even want to touch the entity because you don't understand it. So these types of programs that are pushing this, hey, we hear you, but let's work on something different. It gives you that opportunity to write your own ticket, cash it, do whatever else you want to do with it. So it's great that you're even giving us that platform to speak on, because this is unheard of. You know, you can open those doors.
All right, now I like that. I received that. I'm trying to be the sky, right? I'm trying to be the bird, the flower that she's speaking of.
Hey, Angie, I'm so glad that Asia said that, because I tell people all the time, if you grade me just based off of a math conversation, you would think I was the stupidest person in the world. It's just not my thing. I'm not going to have a math conversation without my calculator out. Right. So I'm glad you said that.
Right. Now, we had a business meeting, and I had the honor of meeting your daughter. And extraordinary. I think I mentioned you. I was like, Joni. So it's and one thing, when I was looking at your video, you were talking about how, you were running late or you missed it, the appointment or the event. Not quite missed it. You got there.
I was close.
But you were saying you made a video on your way there and just said, like, it's a reflection of you, because she's a child, and it's all about that business ethic that you was just talking about, and honoring your word. I wrote some things, and this is what kind of had it out. Your integrity is everything.
It is.
And even though as a child, and that person may say, oh, it's okay, you knew that you wanted to instill that in her, and I commend you for that. And I mean, that can go for anyone, but the fact that you're doing that, and that's your child, you are instilling something great in her, that when she gets of age, it's going to be, she's going to have that. And that's what we all should do. I mean, with our children, we got to hold them accountable, but also if it's something on us because they're children, we have to make sure we correct that, correct it now. So that stood out to me. He's like, integrity is everything. And I just sat there like, I'm in the sky. Integrity is everything. But that goes with everything, and it goes from what I dealt with the last couple of weeks. It deals with, with anything, your job, you want to give 100%, when you partner up with someone. We've partnered up with the school, we've partnered up with something, and you want to make sure you're giving your integrity. So just to hear that, and you're saying like it stands for, it speaks volume, basically. You can look at someone and say, nah, I don't want to work with her. Like from a second, right? Right? But here's one thing, I tell people I'm always looking at your page, okay? One thing I like, and we're going to shift a little bit. One thing I like that you said, Asia, is that when you have issues, I know you were talking about businesses, but when you have business, problems with businesses, you don't want to blast them on social media. So you said, don't blast people on social media, but help them to learn what their error or their mistake. And that's where that kind of goes back to the whole restoring the village. Like, we don't want to be just tearing our brothers and sisters down, but we want to lift them up. If it's something that they did wrong, now that's if they're receptive to hear it, but we also don't want to go straight to social media and just blast them for that. Can you just speak on that? Because I thought that was so powerful.
So I think social media is a false sense, and I'll give that to anybody. You know, we share what we want to share, how we want to share it, in the light that we want to share it in. And when you don't know people, you get a false sense of knowing them through what they've shared. So every cry, every congratulatory event, birthday, whatever, you've celebrated all these milestones with your Facebook friends, XYZ, but can I call and borrow $20 from you? No, because I don't really know you. What we're learning as minority business owners, and that could be men, women, Black, children, whoever, is that when something happens, it's called constructive criticism. Yes. Depending upon how it's given to you will dictate whether or not you're going to grow from it or be destroyed by it. Yes. My thing is that how a person interprets what you say, how a person interprets what you say is completely up to them. You could come and say, oh my goodness, you smell amazing today. And then the person heard, oh, they said I stunk the other days because I smell good today. I can't tell you how to interpret what I just gave you. So when you have businesses and this is the face and this is how I'm feeding my kid, you just gave up a cushiony job with stress, but it paid your bills to go out on your dream. So the difference between your success and failure in a word of mouth is, oh, Joni ain't worth nothing, and before you know it, everyone will step away from you and not tell you why. Versus someone can't come in and saying, hey, Joni, guess what? I got wind of something and I was uncomfortable. Can we shift that? And you can build from it, because be clear, when you are the person making decisions, you cannot see everything. And you hope that your team is structured enough to be able to reach you, because you're not airheaded enough to say, hey, come back to earth. Let's remember why we're doing this and regroup. So when you all have bad business practices or affiliate with bad business practices, please direct it to a person who can make change. And for small business owners, it is the business owner. Call me, call Joni, call Angie, call whoever, because this isn't like City Hall where there's millions of checks and balances to talk to the mayor. We're talking about people that, oh my goodness, I had no idea. I apologize. Here goes the next 3 on me as a compliment, you know, to thank you for letting me know. And that's it. But social media, in this false sense, it will destroy you, and you cannot bounce back from something that reminds you every year on the anniversary that you were tagged in and posted.
I'm like, did you not bring that person up in my life again? Absolutely. It could definitely be a positive and a negative thing. Woo, Lord. So the other day I was like, make sure y'all follow my page, because I was getting ready to just say deactivate that page. But I also know that I've met some amazing people that way. So it's all about, like you said, you know, that key word is the team. And I'm gonna even go back to our community spotlight when we had Coach Kev. That was his organization is We Team. Hey, Coach Kev. And he said the team stood for together everyone achieves more. And how that's amazing, because you want to be a team player. You want to be able to say, Joni, I think that you should and be okay with taking that. Ajah, like Ajah called me the other day and she said things that I could have taken it, but I knew it was all out of love. She didn't say I'm bad, but I could have taken it. Like, who she thinks she talking, and we can't think like that. We can't grow like that. We can't learn like that. If you have a closed mind and don't want to hear nobody, you won't get too far, And now I'm gonna kind of go with something you posted. Yes, I'm the stalker. So, but this is what I got when I look at y'all videos. It's from both videos. So there was a video you had, and actually I loved it today. So I don't know when you had it. I don't know if it was today or not, but I loved it today. And it was the title was "Your kindness is not your weakness."
Yes.
And I think that's important, because I'll let you speak on that, but I think it's important. The key part I got out of that is staying in your character and remaining kind.
Yes.
Remain kind, and I don't care if you got to do a woosah and a num yo ho renge kur. Like, I don't care what you got to do. Bring it down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Count sheep. I don't care. Take a walk. But sometimes we can't act out on our emotions and go to social media and want to be like blast. I can blast a whole lot of people, but is that really? That's going to take me out of my character. it's going to take me out of the reputation. And we don't want to do that. We want to grow. Mm-hmm. So can you just speak on that your kindness is not your weakness? Because people say, you're going to think my kindness, like speak on that for me, please.
Absolutely.
I know what you mean, but please.
So to be completely honest, though, a lot of my posts and videos are really actually inspired by some of my individual coaching people that I work with. Mm-hmm. So, of course, the big businesses, if anybody know a big business I can do professional development with, hit me up, connect me. But aside from them, I do have individual clients, mm-hmm. and I take some of those conversations. And I had a client, tell me that I feel like people walk over top of me, and we're just having that casual conversation. I'm like, well, why? Because I always say yes. Mm-hmm. I always say yes. So the conversation just kind of ended up with me, saying something like, you can't take the fact that, you say yes and think that that's your weakness. What you have to do is you have to find your power of no, mm-hmm. and be okay with that, and understand that that does not make you less of a kind person. Mm-hmm. That does not make you less of a friend. It does not make you less of a business partner, but it just makes you more responsible, because now you are okay understanding that your plate is full. Mm-hmm. You can't do anything more, but here's some alternatives to get some help. Mm-hmm. So for, people out there, if you're listening, if you're an introvert like me, if you have a big heart like me, if you're generous like me, it's okay. It's okay. I think
all three are the Three Stooges.
Right? But when I tell people I'm an introvert, they don't believe me. But trust me, I am. I hate people. I don't like it. But
and I'm not an introvert.
Very much an introvert. But I would just tell people, be okay with yourself, and be okay with firmly letting people know where you stand. And that is absolutely not a weakness. The fact that, you may want to say yes, and the fact that you have a big heart, be okay with the fact that that's fine.
Mm-hmm. I had to try to go live again. My phone was acting up. The devil is working. It's been working for a few days now. I just wanted to say, if anyone wanted to call in, the number is 404-436-1277. Just wanted to throw that out there. Hi, Prince. Sorry. See, that's why I don't look at this. I got ADHD. So my phone was acting a little crazy, and I had to go back on live because that's how people can kind of see it. But it's also on Diamond Cave's page. So if anyone wanted to, already on fire. So again, if anyone wanted to call in and had any questions of what was said so far, the number is 404-436-1277. I have the honor of having, and just in case anyone just came on, I've had the honor, mm-hmm. of having two amazing women here. A lot of times what we like to do for Restoring the Village is we like to spotlight the ones that are doing some great things. And it's from anything from business, for community, artists, events, like whatever it can be. We want to make sure that we always give out the positive vibe, positive energy. And so we have Joni here from Leading for Longevity and Heart Smiles. And we have Ajah Doswell here representing Kings, Lord Jesus. I'm about to say Kings Memorial. Keys Development. I'm trying to tell y'all, I just did a obituary. When I'm trying to tell you, sometimes my little stuff go all into it. So yeah, Keys Development. And we're talking about business ethics. We're talking about leadership developments. Both have some amazing, just amazing things that they can say, that they can show. It's their actions is what made me pull them in. And you never know who's watching you. I'm always watching. And I'm a stalker, but I'm always watching. But I'm always trying. I wear 50 million hats, but I always like to give as much as I can, and they got it, and there's so many others, but we want to make sure that we always give unto one another and we help one another, no tearing down, but building each other up. The key word I'm gonna have a couple keywords, but the integrity is everything. So we want to make sure that we don't tear our brothers down. I see a lot of stuff on social media that I think that as adults and as mature adults, we need to make sure that we, again, step back. Before Facebook was here, what did we do?
Talk. We had real conversation.
Yeah. So can we talk about that? Because like my daughter, when she texts me, she got text me all. There's no shorthand, nothing. Mm-mm. So now she knows, right? But sometimes I just want to hear from her. Old school. And so we've gone from that. Everything is a text or going through Facebook. And I'm probably guilty because when I'm on the go, I'm like, I ain't got time to talk, just text me. But we got to get back to that. We got to get back to communicating with one another. And it seems like Asia about to go.
It's not that. So let me be clear. I'm a therapist by nature, and I try not to therapize everything. I've learned that it's not therapy, it's perspective. And I'm a very well-rounded, open-minded, interesting, works for you, not for me type person. But the reality is that when you don't understand yourself, you can't embrace and understand others. So when you said about building each other up, I can't build you when I don't know how to build myself.
Right.
And it's not that I don't want to build myself, it's that I don't know how. Because we have gotten away from what building looks like. Building looks like when you were younger, getting shipped off to your grandparents' house down summer with no TV, no internet, no phone. You can't come in my house before a certain time. You better be in the bed with your cousins by a certain time. That's what building looked like. And so when we replace building relationships with building on technology with phones and computer and this, we took away that part of building. So we've learned how to master building through business because we were building it for someone else. And like you said earlier, I took it and I ran with it. Consulting is where it is. Be clear. Someone has given you a skill set that you are more than capable of capitalizing off of. You just don't know how. So between Joni and I, we will get you a check, baby. Somebody gonna get paid. And I don't even need nothing from it. But that's what consulting is. If you've been in the same job for 25 years, 25, there's someone learning or wanting to learn what you've gotten in 25.
You expert.
So please come share with me. I will compensate you. And then we can continue to build because they're not giving that. That on the job training isn't being given. That in the house family training isn't being given because we've replaced it and shut down that communication barrier. How did you think you got to York, PA? Because someone had a conversation about what Joni was doing. They might have seen it, but they heard it first. And then the visual reinforced it because, this is what she does. It's innate to her. Now let me see if that's what it is. It didn't start with someone first saying, hey, okay. Not for those people at that level to be reaching out to you. Because if y'all know, like I know, budgets are tight in cities and towns. And they're not reaching out for nobody for nothing if they got to pay because they want free first. So your work is your integrity. What Angie does is her integrity. When I reached out to Angie, I was like, Angie, you got people. I need your people for my event. Come on, what it's going to look like. I'm going to take you out. We can go eat wherever. And it's because of who you are. And I saw what you were doing. The whole thing is that we're all here interconnected by 3 different entities that's now going to replicate into other entities through a conversation. The same way you all watching and listening will share or contact and reach out because of what you've heard or seen. So keep that thread going. And when I say thread, I don't mean thread on the bottom of my video. I mean thread of life of, hey, let's have a wind down. Let's have a, bent and vent.
I was going to say, you want to speak on that? You having another one? Because I am. So can you speak on that? Because I need to vent. And
so outside of this, same way you up and quit. I up and quit too. I was like, you know what? This isn't for me. Let me write my own ticket. And I went out and became a mental health consultant. And I'm for changing personally businesses that need to help with better service delivery. We can't change the kids that need to work for you by not touching them somewhere else. And when you have all of these programs that are working and they're not fixing or solving, then it becomes a problem. And I learned you don't know because no one told you. That thread of communication wasn't there. So as a consultant, I've learned people just don't understand other people. So let's have real conversations. I love profanity. Profanity is one of the best things in the world.
Yeah, her video was filled with it. I was like, go girl. She's like, it. I was like, beep, beep.
And it's crazy because
I won't share that one.
Tony Robbins has made a living off of cursing at these million people events. And it's not dirty. It's how I feel. If it's an effort day, that's what it is. So Benton,
you can't curse.
No, it's okay.
It's not a PG.
So, I'm about to cut loose for these last 10. So that's the motherfucking case. the reality is that sometimes you need to be given that
child
space
security
to have that.
Yeah.
So Bent and Vent, the first one was great. We had an open dialogue about relationships, this, that, and the third. We got people out of their comfort zone. The next one is going to be on Sunday, August the 27th from 6 to 8 at the lab right down here on Charles Street. And I'm getting ready to post my Eventbrite. I have been crazy busy with everything else. But this one is Battle of the Sexes. I need you men, this is your problem. And it's got to come from you all, because as much as I call my friend crazy and tell her this, it don't resonate for me. She got to hear it from a male. And for you guys, it's not resonating from your mama. It's got to come from a woman that actually has some substance. So Bent and Vent is about, hey, real conversations in real time. Is not personal because I don't know you. But we got to communicate. Because when I can compress that or let that go here, then I can come to Joni on Monday for work prepared, because I had a moment to get things off my chest. And now I'm not in here like, I don't need to work today. I worked all weekend. Whoa,
I don't know you.
Or at Angie's event, because we just went for ceasefire. These things are happening because people don't have vocabulary for pain. People don't know how to say, Angie, you hurt my feelings, not I'm angry. So when you take something from me, like my loved one, like my job, like whatever, now I want to retaliate because that's the only thing I know how to do is act. That's the action part. Yeah, but y'all acting in a way that's taking and robbing people of life, of our families, of our households, of everything. So all of this stuff ties in, from business ethics, because you're angry because you've been in the same job for 25 years, to not being able to decompress, to not being able to verbalize how you feel, to now being, hey, let's pray to stop the craziness. Y'all have seen the turn of the tide in the last 5 years. Look at Chicago. We almost up there. And for Joni, and I think this is the amazing thing about youth entrepreneurs, we have written this group off. This generation ain't good for nothing. I wouldn't let them watch my cat, and she's self-sufficient, because that's what we see. To take these babies, give them training, which is crazy because they don't need to be trained. They need to be nurtured, which is what you're doing in a professional setting, and then giving them a safe haven to make mistakes. Woo them, soothe them, and build them. That's how we all got here. So why don't they get the same? Because, YouTube got it. Real Housewives got it. Mona Scott got it. No, we gotta get it. And I charge you all. Take ownership. Be mad at me, but be mad at me 25 years from now when you have a life.
When it's worked for you, like
your life, because you alive. Because you didn't get into a bar fight because somebody stepped on your fresh J's that you stood in line for and paid $75 for a ticket from your homeboy at DTL. So child support not paid though.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's all interrelated. And so not business ethics, but ethics. What are your morals? What are your values? And it speaks for yourself. You took a nonprofit, created profit for the nonprofit to keep the nonprofit going, giving up your secure profit. That's a cycle. That's commendable in itself. And the sad part is that there are people that are like, oh, that's great for her. I'm glad. Till your kid is a product of that, and you ask them for their paycheck 2 weeks from now to help pay that gas and electric. Well, thank you. Won't worry about Joni then.
Now I know with some of the students at Mervo, Malik in particular, over the summer, still summer, but he's excited. He's still excited about that. So just know that, and I'm sure you know this, but just know that you're impacting their lives during school time, and they take that even during the summertime. And it's all about the listener. I remember my grandparents raised me, and with my dad. But there are some things that I can recall my grandmother saying when I was young that sticks with me. You know, so I like that because we communicated and she talked to me. It's things that I have from 20 years ago that I can still be like, nah, she told me not to do that, you know? And even though I may be rebellious and do it, like, I should have listened. You know, it's still things embedded in there. So just know the people that, the youth, the young people that you encounter with, and you're going to continue to impact, like they're listening to what you're saying. She has let me tell you, it could be like a nursery rhyme, but when I'm going through it, I gotta hear her voice, and it's just like, can you just say something? She's like, oh. Yeah. She's just talking, and it's just like, there's no up and no down. It's just like, calm down. When I'm telling you, I was like, but I'm mad. But that's your gift. I'm sure you know that because you stepped out on that. But you have a gift of encouraging not only our young people, but me, but other people, and hopefully everyone is listening, and hopefully in Pennsylvania, hopefully going forward and going this and that. What I'm saying is everybody can't do that. You got some hot-headed people that are like, I'm not going to calm down yet, but you got it. You got it. She spoke like after the thing on Sunday, and it was like just mellow. It was calm, and so much appreciated. Now, what I'm gonna do through the time, we're good, but I want you all to talk about any upcoming events. I'm gonna leave you last because we're doing something together right now. And is there anything upcoming that's going on? Look at her face.
Now I gotta switch to the business page. Like my boss is like, oh my God, you did it again.
Okay. So before we get there, we're gonna take a commercial break and we'll come back with that. Just let you know. Thank you.